a shower. I did not do my hair. Slightly annoying. I don't care. Okay. Where am I? Hi, Stephen. Okay, let me put it on live chat. Hi, guys. And, whew, of course, I've been sitting here writing my notes about healing and all that, and now the energy is flowing, and whew. All right, so hello, Stephen, Jackie, Spirit Moon, Julie, Silver Willow, hello. Hi, Lady D. Aw, I'm glad you made the live, too. Miss Babs, hi. Dreaming Antelope, hello. Lara, hi. Allie, Melanie, Rosetta, just finished the spell. Happened to look on my phone and you were live. Yay, hi. Hi, Ayla and Shamara. Hi, guys. So, all right. Took a shower. Oops. And I didn't do my hair. So, no, I'm going to have to put at least some of it up because it'll annoy me. Hang on. Okay, I'll live. Good. All right. So I'm really excited about tonight's live, actually, because I learned a ton of new shit and got some more resources, and I am a Reiki master now. Yay! I'm so excited. Hi, Em and Alexa Joy. Hi, honey. Hello, Stupid Storm. I'm having to watch on my phone because cable's been out since 9 this morning. Oh, yuck, Jen. Sorry. Yes. I did it. I got through the Reiki Mastery and I learned a ton. I'm so glad that I did it through the woman that I've been going to from the beginning. Thank you, Em. Because, I mean, she's super knowledgeable and we get along really well. Oh, I know. Definitely send that positive energy to Paris. As a matter of fact, let's put Paris in the Reiki basket because, oh my gosh, I was like crying this afternoon. That is horrific. And I can't even bring myself to think about the historical consequences of how awful that is. I did too. I cried today too. It just was horrible. I'm glad there was no loss of life. It just the historical value is beyond any monetary value we can even think of what was in that building and the building itself. And I mean, it's just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. The trauma that comes with that is, it's just killing me today. You had a tornado touchdown, Jen. Oh my gosh. You've been there. It was beautiful. Oh, I wish I had been there. And now, you know, and that's the other thing. I thought, wow, you know, if I ever do get a chance to go there now. Ugh, it just rips your heart out. All right, I need lip stuff. So give me 1 second to get my lip stuff out. Because I took a shower, which, you know, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to shock y'all. I do not shower daily. I know. It's because I have dry skin and dry hair. And so I just take whore baths all the time. And I shower about twice a week. And even that, the fact that I shower twice a week, dries everything out. And I just realized I said whore bath, and you might not all know what that means. Because sometimes I say those sayings that are just weird New York statements. A whore bath is just, you know, over the sink where you kind of wash up. So, right? And even if we don't believe, they say that Jesus' crown was in there and he still was a real person. Absolutely. And I don't care, religious, you know, affiliation or non-religious, walked into whore bath. All right, Luna, good. Or non-religious, just the historical value of the things that were in there. The church history. Church history has one of the best recorded histories of all time because the monks were the people who could read and write. And so they took it upon themselves to record a whole ton of history that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So totally know what you mean. Oh, good. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Rochelle. Nothing wrong with that. And I can go 2 weeks without washing my hair. I know. I'm telling you, because my hair is dry, it just poof. Yep. My family's Catholic and from Spain. I know it. Chrisanne, hi. Hi, Jen. Congratulations on becoming a Reiki master. I am actually as well, but according to where I was certified, being able to teach it is another course that you have to take. I actually did both at the same time. So my teacher, thank goodness it was a one-on-one, I have to say, because it was supposed to be 2 days, which, like you said, one was the Reiki mastery, and then the second day is, I call it a spit and whistle. I love it, Kay. Hi. The second day would be the teaching part of it. But because it was just me, she called me and she's like, you know what? We can do it both in one day because it's like a one-on-one thing. So I don't have to wait for other people and all that stuff. And she knew that I have my channel. So she kind of said, you know, I know that you know a lot of this. Kat, can you not walk into my camera and move it, please? Can we show you? Hold on. This is one of the new ones. We have, well, we have two that have been here before, but this is the brand new one who came with the son and his girlfriend. And she's very sweet here, but apparently she's a huge pain in the ass, which I can see. I've had a lot of things knocked off of all my altars, but, right? Yes, I have. All right. Bloof. All right. I was like, uh-oh, did I get duped? No, yeah, it is two different classes. Normally, it's two different attunements also. So, yeah, that was cat hair right up the nose. Yay. A spit and a promise. That's good. Ah, did I miss a troll? Damn. Was he at all like, intuitive, or yeah, intuitive, not intuitive. I mean, inventive or anything. All right. Hi, Caroline. I really have cat hair up my nose now. That's really bad. I grew up on sponge baths. Couldn't afford the water bill. They do the trick. Yeah, they do. Hi, Jen. Am I to understand you are a Reiki master? I am a Reiki master. Yay. So let me answer that one. Let me finish up and I'll answer that in one question. I mean, in 1 second. Squirrel. Okay. Thank you, Marin. Hello. Taking a break from your new book. All right. Good, good, good. Thank you, thank you. Amethyst, hello. Hi, Pixie. Claire. Never fails you put lip balm on, and then a cat shows up. I know, you're right. It's probably on my lip balm, too. I'm going to get hairballs now. All right, so. Here's the thing. I think, first of all, yes, apparently you can get it online. I'm not saying that it's worse. I have not done any of mine online, so it's hard for me to say that it is not as good or it is as good. I can tell you, I can't imagine it having the same impact on you online. I mean, and maybe it does. So again, if it works for you, it works. I suppose you probably could. I'm not sure if, I think I would have to try it. I would maybe try to attune someone online and then have them talk to me. And it wouldn't be like, I've seen like these courses that are like $20 and stuff. There's something not quite right to me about that. I mean, Reiki used to be thousands of dollars to get the training. And the Reiki association wanted to lower that cost. And so they have a lot. But it's still not $20. To me, I just feel like, I don't know, that there's something. For one thing, my teacher, when I took Reiki 1 even, my teacher talked about the energy exchange, because this is a huge energy exchange. Hi, Denise. And you are attuning them to the frequency of the Reiki masters. And so you have to have a worth, like that has to be worth something to you. And if that's only worth $20, there's something not quite right about that. And I'm skeptical. I will say I'm a little skeptical. I am not saying it doesn't work, but at the end I will have paid, yeah, $1,100 exactly. My course was regularly $200 online, right? I will say when I'm all done, because I'm still not quite done, I still owe her $100, which I was like, I need $100 or more dollars. But so mine all together. Hi, Witchy Woo in Paris. Hello. Let's see if 470. I'm so bad. Hold on. 500, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, mine has been about 1,200 total. So, boy, to see somebody online selling it for $20, to me, it just doesn't seem like that's the same. You know what I mean? Like I certainly, because there's a specific symbol to send healing online and stuff. Yeah, Reiki. I got my Reiki Mastery this weekend. We're just talking about those online courses. I would think that you could probably do an attunement online. I know I wanted to go back to my teacher who did it hands-on, because you're able to practice on each other. You're able to ask questions to the teacher that really you can, yeah, how do they know you're doing it right? Exactly. I just, Maybe I will do it the original way. When Ken passed, he was practicing Reiki Master and was preparing to teach me. He was an OBGYN healer in a healing center for multiple. That's awesome. That is great. And I know that Reiki healing works long distance. So like I said, you may be able to do it, an attunement online and it be okay. I took it online and got tuned in person. There you go. Yeah, maybe something like that. Seems less legit for $20. Yeah, I don't know. Something about that doesn't seem quite right to me. Hi, Hexen. Hi, Justin. So, let's get to it. First of all, I loved my class. It was absolutely amazing. I knew it was going to be because, hi, Dawn, because, this is the same teacher that did my original Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. I took my Reiki 1 in 2014. I took my Reiki 2 in 2015. So it's been quite a while since I did that. And I wanted to go back to the same person because I just loved her. And I think she has great energy and we have a really good connection. And actually she talked to me a lot about the channel because she was like, I was thinking about starting up like a channel thing, but I don't know, and I'm so not technologically advanced, and I'm like, yeah, me neither. It's okay. So we talked a lot, and it was great. I will tell you, hi, Midnight Sky. I wore my prayer beads that Wendy gave me while I was being attuned. So now these have been attuned with Master Reiki. I brought my Gaius, who is the leader of my council. And so he has been, attuned and has been teaching the rest of my Scullies about Reiki. And I brought, what did I bring it? I thought I did bring it up. Where is it? Oh, and I brought, so I don't know if I've ever shown this before. I've been working on a Reiki book that has so much more than some of the manuals I've seen. Yeah. I have to say, I love the manual that we use. Hi, Shauna. But I know I have several books besides that I have gone, yeah, Reiki Scullies that I have gone through too. So this piece of quartz, this is a golden healer quartz. It is what they call a mother because it has a smaller quartz piece growing off of it. And it's also a warrior crystal because, I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. You can tell that, that it has a piece that has been broken off, like that had grown there and then had been broken off. So it's a warrior crystal. This is my personal generator. I think I might have shown this once before. I don't use this for anyone else's healing. I don't use this on anyone else. This is my personal healing generator. So every full moon, this goes out in the full moon. After I heal other people, if I feel like I need a little extra oomph, or if I come home and I've had a particularly negative day and stuff, I will kind of meditate with my generator. And I place all of the intention of personally working for me into my generator. Philip Permit, who's the name I was trying to figure out the other day, actually is the one that talks about having a generator that's specifically for you. And I have found, I've had this for a couple of years now, and I have found that it's a great idea that when you specifically program it to work with your energy exclusively, you kind of make a special bond with that crystal. And it seems to always have what I need. So I highly recommend. But I did bring this, and this sat underneath me also. So I don't know why, Jen, but you have a glow about you. Aw, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And the other thing that I brought with me was all of my Reiki crystals that I use when I'm doing personal Reiki, and that I set around my Reiki basket, which, by the way, is now going to have 2 master symbols on it. So like all of my Reiki stones, they have the Reiki symbols, and all my chakra stones that are with the chakra symbols on it were sitting underneath me also. So I kind of brought, my special crystals with me, and one of, my healer from the council, and so I was able to kind of include all of those crystals into the attunement, which is great. I love my teacher. Is there any rule that says you can't use consenting family members to practice on? Absolutely not. Of course. For sure. So, hi, Lisa. Jen, how do you do all what you do? You make... Oh, stop it. How do I do all... I don't know. I just do. I don't know. I love learning the little extras from you. Oh, thank you. Good. This will be a day that you will all be glad you're here, because I'm telling you what. This class was amazing, and she gave me some recommendations of some stuff to watch, which I came home and after Game of Thrones, of course, which I loved. Was great. Awesome. So excited that it's back. Hi, Alchemy. I watched one of the... Hi, Papa Squirrel. Yay. Oh, good. I can... Hey, if you want in on my Reiki basket... You got it, honey. Hey, it's Cassie for once and not Maddie. I can't believe it. Oh, Papa Squirrel. See? Squirrel. I watched one of the things that were on Netflix that she recommended to me and was amazed. And that, I'll talk about what it was, but I want to talk about some other things. Healing. Okay. So, first of all, he was a native healer. Can you put me in your basket for chronic pain? You got it, Dawn. Chronic pain. He'd give me a sweat hairy eyeball if he heard me ask about lessons online. You are behind me, Ken. Watch me type so. No worries about me straying to internet lessons. That's good. Neurologist appointment Wednesday. Oh, yes, Rosetta. Absolutely, honey. Good luck. And I will put you in there. Neurology appointment for sure. Austin, he's having some bad growing pains. Shauna, have you tried a rolling pin? I know that sounds weird, and I'll explain it if you don't know what that means. But I used to do that to my boys. What? Okay, here we go. So, hold on, let me finish this. Miss Babs. What's your first name, Miss Babs, if you don't mind? I usually try to have the first name. If not, it's okay, but it helps me to focus better. Shoulder pain. Barbara, you got it. Okay, so the rolling pin. Do I have it here? Nope, I must have put it back. Or my son has it, because he still uses it. Okay, well, there you go. Now I know. There is a buildup of lactic acid when you start experiencing growing pains. It's the same thing that builds up when my boys are working out a lot. D-Star Silver Moon, sure. First name, sweetie. I know, I'm sorry. I should know it, but I don't. Back pain. And in order to move that lactic acid out of those muscles, I had a big rolling pin. It was like this big, a big old wooden rolling pin. And I still do this when they are, did you tell me? No. I still do this when they are, when they have worked out or something. Joey will come to me and say, Mom, do you have the rolling pin? And I have them lay down on the bed, and whatever, like if his legs are hurting and stuff, I start at the back usually because that's where most of the muscles are. And you just roll out the muscles, and you kind of start out pretty light because it's kind of painful at first. They're like, oh my gosh, but it's got to move that lactic acid around and kind of move it out of that buildup. It's kind of build up in the muscles. And so if you do the rolling pin on the legs, like once a night for a little while, that should help to move that lactic acid around and help with the pain. And I do it with my sons all the time. I have this big, huge wooden rolling pin, an old one, that probably is sitting in Joey's room because I think I just did it not too long ago. So hopefully that'll help. And, or use a dowel, right? A dowel, yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay, so guys, I'm telling you what, I learned so many interesting things and just really got on fire about my healing again. So this is a good time to be going in the basket because there's all kinds of new techniques I learned and some new things that I thought, this is so cool. I wish I had known some of this before. You can get a foam roller too, right? Absolutely. You're welcome, honey. No problem. Okay. So first of all, some really basic stuff that she just said, and I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think about that? So little short things. One is, if you are a Reiki practitioner and you find yourself not really knowing how to, you're welcome, Lisa. How's that, Nancy? Ugh. I'll bring it up. Give me 1 second. Let me start, and I'll bring it back up. Not really knowing how to, like, if you're not connecting with someone, and this could be doing a tarot reading. If you're doing like mediumship work and you're trying to connect and you feel like you can't quite speak for their guardians, or you're not connecting quite right, it's a communication issue. So she said, first of all, chakra work with your throat chakra. So blue stones, blue fluorite, lapis, all that kind of stuff. If you put it around your throat for a little while, that will help. But also, if you know Reiki, if you're a Reiki practitioner, if you draw the symbols on your tongue, that will help the communication. It like brings down that Reiki power, especially the Chokurei symbol, which is the power symbol on your tongue. It will bring down that Reiki power and allow you to connect easier and to speak your truth and speak to their truth much easier. And I'm like, why didn't I ever think about how simple is that? Put the Reiki symbol on your tongue. That's awesome, right? Brilliant. I love it. Like, hell yeah. Why didn't I ever think about that? So let me go back and then I'll continue. But Nancy is, she is at the rehab facility now. She got out of the hospital. She's at the rehab facility. She's in isolation at the rehab facility because she told them that she'd had diarrhea for weeks. And so now they're testing her for C. diff. And she's not happy about being in isolation. But she is, she's going to be there at least a couple weeks. And hopefully within another couple days, we'll find out C. diff. It takes a long time it takes like a week sometimes to get the results of it. Hold on, I'm going to close that out so I don't hear it while I'm doing this. But she's doing better, and, you know, hopefully she continues to heal, and I'm going to try some of the things that I learned on her too. So it's good. Okay. So one of the hugest aha moments I had that I was like, why didn't I ever think of that? So she said to me, she goes, so you've been doing your Reiki for a long time now. I'm like, yep. She goes, so when you're done healing someone, do you cut cords? And I'm like, yes, of course I cut cords. I cut cords every time. As soon as I'm done, cords are cut. And she goes, yeah, I did too for a long time. Now I've realized how wrong that was. And I'm like, what do you mean? Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate it. I'm like, I don't want to stay connected to them. What are you talking about? Yeah. She goes, okay. She goes, here's what I want you to consider. Think of your spine as a big power strip, like the power strip that you plug stuff into. She goes, and everybody that takes energy from you, whether it's healing energy or your kids or your parents or your husband or whatever, they are plugging into your spine and taking energy from you. So she goes, first of all, you have to really think about who you're allowing to plug in to, their energy. And of course, if you're a healer, you're going to allow people that you don't know very well, but they're plugging in for a specific amount of time for healing. She goes, what happens if you cut all those cords? And I'm like, they're all still plugged in, but now they're just not attached to anything else. She goes, yeah, those cords are still all plugged in, but now they're just releasing energy, kind of flowing some of that energy out, or dripping some of your energy out, because you have all of these cords attached. And even if they're not connected, because you've just cut, that it's just dripping energy out of all these cords that you have never taken the plugs out. And I thought, holy shit. Why didn't we ever unplug It is not a cutting cord thing. We should not be cutting cords. We should be physically like sitting in meditation for a minute and just energetically pulling the plug. And then before we let all those plugs come back in, we need to really think about and decide who we allow to plug in to our energy. I thought, oh, that's really good. That's really good. She goes, the first time I did this, I was in meditation with somebody, and she said, we were in meditation, and she said, like, okay, the power strip thing, and she goes, now turn yourself all the way around and look at all the plugs that are hanging out that you have just cut, but you have unplugged. I'm like, oh, yes, 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 yes. You have to unplug them. You have to unplug them. So here I am. Now don't get me wrong, I love my little obsidian, but I've always had a problem with cutting the cords because obsidian, and that's the only time I use pure obsidian, is in an arrowhead to cut the cords, and it's so harsh all the time that, all right, fine, I use it to cut the cords and then let it go and stuff, but boy, does it just cut through stuff. It does not do anything easy. It does not unplug anything. It's just cutting and letting all that hang out. So that was a great aha moment. I thought, yes, so we really need to unplug, right? That was a good one, for sure. Okay, then I wrote down page 20, and I don't know why. Hold on. I have to say, too, I was saying to, I think, Hexen, that I had quite a few. Oh, great. I said page 20, and then I didn't star anything or moving meditation. All right, that's good. Don't know what I meant. Please then drop me in your basket. I'm Dragon, going for a whop of tests to whittle things down. Internet did stress test on heart, going for PF test, blood scans. Oh, honey. Will do, will do. In my class, they teach us to open and close the chakras before cutting. Wonder if that's unplugging. Absolutely. That could be unplugging to open and close them. Yeah, I could see how that would do that for sure. You are going in there, Kay. Unplugging is perfect. Yeah, especially in this time of technology. We definitely can visualize that really well. So I was telling, I think, Hexen, if you had us in your basket already, do we need to go in again? It depends on when you got into my basket. Now, don't forget that the new moon last week, I burned what was in there, so it started from last week. If you are leaking energy from the cut cord, so is the person who is at the other end of the cord. Yeah, it might, for sure. For sure. What happened? What happened when? What? What's the matter? What? So I was telling him that for Marley, your heart, you got it, honey. Oh, I think I was telling you this, Hexen, that there was quite a few times that I did not know. The shaman at my Reiki center preaches this. Damn it. Also, so good. Sometimes it can take a few removals as well. I agree. I think I'm an empath. I'm constantly feeling drained around people, feeling their pain and emotions, and spend the majority of my time trying to keep from it, but it's impossible, for sure. Would there ever be an appropriate time or situation for cord cutting then? Yes, if you needed to do it quickly, I could see cutting the cord and then going back later and meditating about unplugging. But I don't know. Other than that, I don't think I would be cutting cords after that. Maybe cutting the cord after you've unplugged it could be used to get rid of a toxic energy, right? But how much of your energy can you safely give away to people that you don't disconnect from, right? No kidding. That's true. I did not know tarot very well when I did Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. I mean, I had done it a little bit, but I did not know tarot very well. And it's funny how tarot comes up in everything in our life when you are studying it and learning and doing tarot readings and all that kind of stuff. I literally, I think 3 or 4 times I was like, oh, that's just like this card. Oh, that's just like this card. We were talking about, first of all, the 5 of Wands. We were talking about the 5 of Wands energy and how, well, I said it was the 5 of Wands. And I said, she said, sometimes the challenges that come up in life, we are not accepting what is. And we talked about Eckhart Tolle a little bit about living in this moment and stuff, and how when we are challenged in life, where it's a challenge and it's useful as a tool, if we can look at it that way, then it doesn't drain us like it does if you're looking at every challenge as they're questioning your ability, or they're questioning your authority, or they're telling you you're not good enough or something. If you look at that challenge differently, and I have to say, hold on, let me finish my thought. Squirrel. If you look at that challenge differently and see it as an opportunity to test your skills, an opportunity to test your ability to live in the present moment and accept what is, it's much less of an ego thing. It turns much more into okay, cool. I can test that I am able to take this kind of criticism or this challenge or this competition and turn it into something like, hell yeah, I get to learn that I'm good enough, that I can take what you got. That came up, and that was a big thing. The Magician came up. All right, how many chakras are there besides the main 7? 1 million. I mean, there is like unlimited amounts of chakras. Some people talk about chakras that are, there's a certain number of feet above the head, and then there's another one above that, and then there's 2 below your feet. And I really focus on just the main 7. Except I will tell you, I use my palm chakras a lot, because to me that helps me to feel the energy ball when you're starting to work with energy balls. It's helpful to think about opening up your palm chakras. But there's a ton. Caroline's oldest son. Oh, you almost lost him last week? Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Of course. He's there. No announcement. I'm sorry, Gypsy. I can feel my thumb chakra ever since I was little. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. If you feel more energy in one finger, I often feel these fingers, especially when they're attached. Now, they teach this in Buddhism, that this is a symbol, and the touch of these 2 fingers help to connect you to spirit better. Just like the thing I talk about with the tongue, when you put your tongue at the top of the palate of your mouth, right behind your teeth, that connects you to your 3rd eye, which connects to spirit better. I feel carpal tunnel in my fingers, right? So tarot came up a lot. The Magician, one of the Reiki mastery symbols, specifically is a symbol that talks about connecting to the where is it? Connecting to the Reiki masters and the power of the Reiki masters, and using that energy to heal. And that's the Magician. That's the Magician all day long. I was like, that's so the Magician. And she goes, oh my gosh, I never thought about it that way. But yes, that's the Magician. That's totally exactly what I think of when I think of the Magician. That's him, for sure. And I did want to bring up, there's a grid that, do I want it? Yeah, okay. quickly anyways, this grid was put in the four corners of the earth. One's at the North Pole, one's at the South Pole, one's at in Jerusalem and someplace else. I can't remember right now. But which connects as a crystal grid, and it's non-denominational. If you see, like, there's every religion's symbol there. And it's a crystal grid, which then connects because they're on the four opposite corners of the world. It connects that whole system to immense Reiki power. So if you make yourself your own grid like this and set it down and put, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to put our Reiki basket in the middle of it. Then that connects to this awesome, incredible Reiki healing power that is going all the way around the world as a connected loop. So that's huge. I think I'll do a tarot oracle reading before you go to bed. Absolutely. So, yeah, I'll try to post a picture of that in the Facebook page. Okay, so the other things I want to talk about, this is where things get exciting, Jen. Jen, did I just talk to myself in the third person? Wow, that is so ew. Yuck. That is, okay. Sorry, gotta run. We'll have to finish watching. No problem, honey. This is where things get exciting, though. This is where I was like, oh, my mind is blown. I know I did. I know Jen likes her chicken spicy. Isn't that awful? All right, so there is a documentary on Netflix now called Heal. Have any of you ever seen this documentary? I'm on the TV. Yay! Talking to yourself is a sign of intelligence. Oh, good. No. Okay. My mind is blown. I mean, my mind is blown. I'm more excited about healing than I have been in years since I started Reiki, I think, because of this documentary, because I'm a big proponent of science. I'm a total science geek. I love researching physics and quantum physics and different realms and all that stuff. I really love when I can bring what we do back to basic science, because then it kind of takes the argument out of the people who call us crazy, who say that we're woo-woo and we don't really know what the hell we're doing and what we do doesn't do anything. Crystals don't do shit and all that stuff. Lady D watched it. Yay! Okay. So this documentary, I'm like, yes. The whole time. I mean, I went to bed at like midnight and I was up watching the whole thing because I'm like, oh, I have to write notes. So I started writing some notes and I'm like, all right, I got to go to bed because I knew I had a horrible, busy day today at work. But so excited. Some of the stuff I'm like, yes. Okay. So I have always known psychology and psychics go hand in hand. Physics, psychics. Did I say psychics? You know what? Squirrel. Hold on. I love that so much. Yes, totally based around science. Netflix. It's on Netflix. It's called Heal. It is incredible. Incredible. So here we go. Ready? First of all, it's like a documentary about the science of healing yourself, of natural healing, of alternative therapy healings, that kind of thing. It's a whole documentary with all these incredibly talented and educated people, most of whom are doctors. I wrote down some names, all that kind of stuff. So there's who have done studies about all the healing, energetic healing, herbal healing, all that kind of stuff. And it centers around like the same kind of 4 or 5 people. They kind of talk to some people who have gone through one of these. They call it a radical remission, which means you were sick near death. and went into a full remission without this stuff. Is it just my video that keeps freezing? I hope so. I mean, not that I hope so for you, but I hope it's not freezing for everyone else, because that'll piss me off too. All right, so it's called Radical Remissions. This woman, her name is Kelly Turner. She has a PhD. She studied these radical remissions for 10 years and said there has been radical remissions for every single type of cancer there is. Every single type. That at some point or another, at least one person had been radically remission from every single type of cancer. She looked at what they all did. And this was not the conventional things that you think of when they have cancer. This was not chemotherapy. This was not radiation treatments. This was not that. All of them had, there were 75 different things that she said. At first she said, okay, what did you do? When you found out you had cancer, what did you do? And she came up with this big list, 75 things that, that encompassed all of the people she studied did some of these 75 things. Not all of, blah, 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 except all of them did these 9 things. Ready? Radically changed their diet. Taking control of your health. And what that means is not allowing your doctor to say, hi, honey. My son Dustin. Not allowing your doctor to say, oh, sorry, you're going to die in a year and there's not a whole lot we can do. Taking the diagnosis, but not the prognosis. In other words, saying, okay, yes, I have this cancer, but not listening to, you have this amount of chance of dying. This is what we should do, is do a radical mastectomy and radiation and chemo and half kill you in order to heal you. I'm not saying that doesn't ever work, by the way, and now we'll get back to it. But so radical change your diet, taking control of your own health, following your intuition, using herbs and supplements, releasing suppressed emotions, increasing positive emotions, embracing social support. So stuff like, support groups and spiritual groups that are helping you through this. Deepening your spiritual connection and having a strong reason for living. So every single one of these people that she studied that had these radical remissions did all of those 9 things. There's only 2 of those things that are physical. Radically changing your diet and using herbs and supplements. The rest of them are emotional, spiritual, and mental ability, mental power, affirmation work, that kind of thing. 2 of them are physical. The rest are your attitude, your spiritual connections, your emotional connections to support, your belief in your body to heal. The rest of them have nothing to do with what conventional doctors talk about. Nothing to do with that. What did I miss? Jennifer, I can't believe even with this community, I get a very hard time, especially with healing. Really? They don't believe? Oh, changing your diet. Goddess, give me the strength to do that for my cheeseburger loving chunk self. I know, me too. I hear you. I'm watching this documentary tonight. Yes, do it. Do it. I am telling you, I'm so excited about this healing thing. I can't even tell you now. Okay. Yeah, that radical diet change is going to be my epic fail. Absolutely. But that's not the only thing that was healing. That was only one of 2 things that were physical. The rest of it is emotional is intelligence, is spiritual connection, is support. So what does that mean? They talk about, there's people that they talk about on this documentary that literally the first guy, he's been 1968, the first guy they talk about, 1968, and he's some kind of doctor, I can't remember what kind, neurological surgeon or something like that. He got hit by a car in 1968. It fractured 12 of his vertebrae. And they told him he would never, probably he would never walk again. And he said he knew they were wrong. And he wasn't willing to accept that diagnosis. Now here he is, a doctor. Power of positivity and faith, law of attraction, absolutely. Magic is all connected. My stepsister had breast cancer and then took estrogen to keep up with a younger guy. Cancer came back because of that. She would sit taking chemo and eating Pringles. I shouldn't be alive with all that I've been through, but I'm here. Of course she died, right? I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Ugh. So he said, I don't believe you. They wanted him to have a surgery, and I've seen the surgery 100 times being an x-ray tech. Yes, it is for sure. That took 2 rods and went up the back of the spine, and it connected to the spine with several screws into the spine to stabilize the spine and hopefully take some pressure off of the spinal cord and that kind of thing. And he said, no, thanks. He checked himself out of the hospital. Now, I'm not saying, keep in mind, guys, I'm not saying don't ever go for medical care at all. I'm not saying that. But I'm just telling you because these stories can happen. He checked himself out. He said on a daily basis, he would spend, he said it took him 3 hours the first time. On a daily basis, he would spend time in meditation, thinking through how his body was to rebuild his spine. And he was like a neuro guy. He knew what he was talking about. So he said he would literally take each vertebrae in his mind in meditation and rebuild the spine that needed to heal and send healing to that specific spinal cord or or that specific vertebrae and tell it to rebuild itself and picture it completely healed and whole. And then he would move on to the next vertebrae. Then he would move on to the next vertebrae. So every day he did this. Hi, Pat. And he said he went back in 12 weeks and his spine was healed. Healed. They told him he wasn't supposed to walk again. And he visualized his body healing and told his body this is exactly what he wanted his body to do. And it did it. Our bodies have incredible healing power that we do not tap into. We do not believe it. We don't. It's like science doesn't teach it anymore. Hi, Liana. Science thinks that there's only one way, doctors especially, and I love science. I love doctors. But we have no idea how powerful our bodies are at healing. We just have to tell it what to do. So, I mean, that's just one story. There's a million stories here, guys. Okay. They went through and talked about, where am I? Yep. They went through, the power of the mind is limitless. It is limitless. For sure, it is limitless. And I'll tell you, I hate to, all right, there's personal stuff. I'll get into a little bit of personal stuff just because I have experienced some of this too. Now, I'm going to tell you something that is not a fun thing, that is slightly embarrassing, and I was a stupid teenager, whatever. I hope my husband's not down there because he hates when I talk about personal stuff. When I was a teenager, I was kind of a whore. Let me back up. I was not very careful. My dad did that. They wanted to do surgery on his back, and he said no. When he went back, they said it was a miracle. Absolutely, see? So doctors get trapped in knowing what they knew. There's still so much they don't know or don't acknowledge. Absolutely, right? So, of course, my son comes out, right? Is this where Horvath came from, right? Might as well have. So, I've never told my kids this. So, I love my son, Sarah. So, when I was a teenager, I contracted herpes. Yay, I know, right? It's not curable. It doesn't go away. I had an outbreak, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I went to the doctor, had that. I don't know. I took some weird pill that started with a Z. And I just told myself a trillion times, I do not have this. It is not happening. I don't have this. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not a bad person. I do not have this. I'm not kidding when I tell you, and this is very rare, and I know it's a weird thing to talk about. I've never had an outbreak since then. Ever. This was, how old am I? So this was a long time ago, 30 years ago, something like that. They were worried about my children when I was pregnant and stuff, because apparently you can pass it on like that somehow or something. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not gonna be a problem. I haven't had an outbreak since then. And they're like, no, that's not true. You just didn't notice or something. I'm like, yeah, no, I just haven't. Because that's it. I don't have that. I'm not going through that. That's not happening. And I just made it so. Not happening. That apparently does not happen. But it did. All right, so there's a doctor in organic chemistry called David Hamilton. He worked in the pharmaceutical industry when he first started, because he's like, there's not much work for an organic chemist. So I worked in the positive of the squirreling mind. That's right. He, there wasn't a whole lot of work for an organic chemist. So he said, I started working for this pharmaceutical industry. He goes, I know they're evil, but he said, I actually enjoyed my work because I was able to do, try to come up with new stuff for cancer and new stuff for this and new stuff for that. And he said, what really fascinated me, I was told I had genital warts. I had never had sex. They burned off, and then since never had any sense. Good. See, Bebo, you and me, baby. What was really fascinating to him was what happens when you test people, where one set of people gets the new drug that they're testing, and what happens when the other set of people get the placebo. In other words, they get like an aspirin, or they don't get anything in their pill. It's not the medicine. He said, if you give 100 people the drug, it's not uncommon for like 75 people to improve, for their symptoms to go away, for their whatever to improve, for things to get better. He said, and then 100 people you're giving a placebo. In other words, you're not giving them any drug. He said, it is not uncommon for 50, 60, even 75 people to get better. Sometimes they have a hard time because it's the same amount of people, and then they don't know, does the drug work, or is it just positive thinking that has eased these symptoms? So sometimes they literally couldn't tell the difference between these huge, awful drugs, some of them with huge side effects, and the power of thinking you're getting this drug that's going to help you. Positive thinking. Mama, can you pull up my coworker, Judd, in your Reiki basket? He had an accident at work. Till further notice, he can't work. His hand is completely frozen in one position. Ugh. Oh, of course, honey. Power of the mind. That's right. The placebo effect is huge. What's his name? Judd? Judd. And healing frozen. Okay. Belief shifts biology. That's a huge, I think I'm going to write that or have like a plaque or something that says belief shifts biology. That is a proven scientific thing. Belief shifts biology. It happens all the time. He was draining the AC, damn it, hold on, from his car. Oh, the line blew and 2 pounds of Freon hit his hand. Oh, Pat, I'm sorry. Whew. Why as humans do we only use 10% of our brains? That's well, they've proven actually that that's not quite true, but there's still a big chunk of brain that we do not use. Okay, so they talk about how people trust people who are in white coats. So they think, you know, okay, this guy in this white coat, this doctor in this white coat came up and they told me this thing, and because he has the white coat on, I trust him because he's the doctor, right? Doctors told me that my son and I both wouldn't make it past 22 weeks because my heart was so weak. I refused to believe it, and he was born perfectly healthy at 34 weeks. Go girl. No problem, Pat. Anytime, honey, of course. That was Friday and he still can't move. Ugh, yuck. We pollute our brain with so many chemicals. Absolutely. Because it hurts more when we use it, right? So, this doctor, who's on there, and I didn't write his name down, but said, you know what? So she had this patient of his had gotten a diagnosis of cancer and a prognosis of 6 to 8 months. And he said to her, we can change that. That is not set in stone. That is, I want you to forget about what he said about the prognosis and try to pretend like you didn't hear it. And she said, but he had a white coat on. He's in the medical field. How can I not listen to what he said? And he said, hold on a second. And he went out, put a white coat on, came back in. He said, okay, now I'm telling you, I'm going to write you a whole bunch of prescriptions. This prescription is going to say, this is what I want you to eat. This is what I want you to read. These are the daily affirmations I want to give you. Here's a ton of prescriptions. Here you go. And he said, and patients started going, yeah, okay. Why am I only listening to someone because they have this white coat on? Why am I doing that? Why am I trusting my health completely to this person who literally went to school with a bias? They go to school with that bias of only medical stuff works. So they already have a bias against energy work, against herbal work, against any kind of their field medicine, any alternative therapies. They already have that. I was just screaming about that today, that people trust doctors. Exactly. They're not gods. Mom ruined that for me with the song, they are coming to take me away. Ha ha, coming to take me away. Yes, I know, Gypsy. I totally gotcha. Me too. Social conditioning. I never listen to the doctors. I question them and I give them hell. For sure. I can't trust doctors. I've had some horrible ones. Absolutely. So again, you can believe the diagnoses. I'm not saying that doctors are bad. I'm not saying that they do that intentionally. I'm saying, though, that they are conditioned when they go to school to only believe in what they are taught, and literally to totally throw away everything else as bunk, as hoo-hoo, as, out there ridiculousness. They literally are taught that, which is not the case. He said, okay, that's like saying, if you're going to believe the prognosis of what the doctor tells you, let's say the doctor says you have lung cancer, you have 6 to 8 months. If you're going to believe that prognosis, based on what? Based on the factors that he put into a little calculator? He said that is like someone asking you what the temperature is outside and saying, well, the average temperature in New York for April 15th is 65 degrees. Okay. That doesn't tell me anything about what the temperature is today. I asked you, what is the damn temperature today? And you're telling me the average temperature for New York for this date is blah, blah. I don't give a shit what the average temperature is. What's the weather like? It doesn't make any sense to just use that. Thank you, Johnny. No, but trust your own body too. Yes, yes, yes. Trust your own body too. Yes, absolutely. And honestly, it is a big business and big money for people to be sick. That's right. Pharmaceutical industries, for sure. If we have not learned anything at all from the healthcare industry at large lately, it's that the pharmaceutical companies are making tons of money off keeping us sick. They don't want us to heal ourselves. They don't want us to get better, because then they're going to lose money. They also don't get kickbacks for natural healing methods. That's right. Drug companies give them kickbacks. Absolutely they do. I try to talk to my mom about this all the time. She says, well, my doctor said this, and that's what I'm doing. Yep. I have to drive 40 minutes if I have an emergency to the next town because it's an hour wait in the emergency room. No kidding. It's terrible. Doctors seem to believe that better living can only come from drugs, but we need to be in tune with our bodies. Yes. Kind of like how witches, healers, even midwives are not supposed to be trusted. Fear of losing profits by the medical professionals. There's no money in curing ailments. That's right. High spiral heart. All these harsh chemicals being pushed into our environment. That's right. Great, Luna. Thanks for coming, honey. Or causing new problems while curing the old problems. That's right. This is actually what started me, even with me resisting on this path 10 years ago when my son was born. He was born and they rushed him out because he had meconium in his lungs. They told us for 4 days. Yay, my cable's back on. Yay, that's okay, Bebow. I totally get it. Chemtrails and chemicals on our food and hormones in food. That's why it's ideal to grow your own food, right? I'm going to add this documentary on. Yes, 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 yes. It was his last day, and I told him he was fine. I'd have him home with me soon. He came out of the hospital on day 11. Perfect. Yes, the doctors get kickbacks. Yes, they do. For sure they do. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a little bit of the science part of it, okay? Because, again, I want to stress, I'm not saying that you cannot trust your doctors for anything. I'm not saying that you should not ever go to the doctor. I am saying definitely if you have a trauma, if you get hit by a car, if you, fall down and break your leg, go to the doctor. Trust that they can diagnose your illness and hug each other, right? Trust that they can diagnose your illness. I just wouldn't necessarily trust the prognosis. All right, so I will tell you another personal story from my father, because my father is like the king of meditation, he was a big hippie, smokes pot still to this day. And when right before actually he had his heart attack where he had to have quadruple bypass, I had taken him in to the doctor because he was having this back pain and he thought it might be chest pain. And, I was worried about him and all that. And his blood pressure was high. And they said to him, oh, it's going to be a couple hours. I'm going to give you something to lower your blood pressure and then we'll let you leave. But your blood pressure has to be a certain level before we let you go. And he goes, okay, can you turn off the lights, give me 5 minutes and come back and check it? And the nurse is like, yeah, that's not going to work. I don't know what you're thinking, but you can't just change your blood pressure like this. And he was like, yeah, turn off the light, give me 5 minutes. And of course, I'm sitting in the chair and I'm like, oh, here we go. And he goes, okay, I'm just going to meditate and now bring down my blood pressure. Like 3 minutes. He goes, okay, go tell her to come in here and take my blood pressure. So she comes in. She's like, she's totally annoyed with him. Jesus Christ. This old guy. She takes the blood pressure and she's like, oh, maybe the cuff was wrong the first time. It must be I didn't record it right the first time or something. I'm like, no, you recorded it right. I've seen him do that before. He just meditated and he was like, nope, I'm just going to bring it down now. Let's go. I'm done. Everyone remember to smash that thumb. Yes, please do. Hi, Jen. I have a question regarding what you were talking about earlier with the throat chakra. How do you draw that symbol on your tongue? What do you use? Okay. All Are you a Reiki practitioner? Because if you're not a Reiki practitioner, I will give you a healing symbol that has nothing to do with Reiki. If you are a Reiki practitioner, the Reiki power symbol is the one that I would put on there. If not, then think of what I want you to do is imbue a symbol that to you means healing. So like for instance, my healing before I became Reiki, and even still now, I always connect to Mother Earth. So if I was to draw a symbol, an easy, quick symbol that to me meant healing, it would be a tree. So I would think, okay, and it's all about intention, right? You're going to put your intention in this tree symbol and draw the tree. Or whatever it is that you feel you get your healing power from. So it's like imbuing your intention onto your tongue. Okay? I hope that helps. That's the key takeaway. Trust the diagnosis, question the prognosis. That's exactly it. But it did though, and it did. So many times people think a magic pill will do all the work for them. You still have to change your lifestyle. That's right. Wait till I get to the last part of that. Hang on. Okay, it goes to show we all know our bodies. That's right. We do. All right. No problem. That's okay. No problem. All right. So let me get some science at you. Ready? There was a stem cell biologist. His name was Bruce Lipton. He's a PhD stem cell biologist. And he was talking about energy shifts and how it's very difficult for some reason to get the medical community to understand energy shifts, to understand that shifting people's energy is possible. So he said, look, I've studied quantum physics. And when you're in quantum physics, one of the things that quantum physics talks about is that our perception of things is really an illusion. When I'm looking at this box, which is where I get my little papers out to write my stuff for Reiki, our perception is this is a hard, solid box. If you're talking about quantum physics, though, we realize that this is not solid. This is a bunch of atoms vibrating enough to make it seem like this is a solid box. So think about this. Here's the example I'm going to give you, okay? All right. If you took an apple and you looked at an apple under the microscope and you looked at it has cells in it, and then you looked at it from a more powerful microscope, you would see its DNA. And then if you looked at it from a very powerful microscope, you would see atoms. And what then does atoms have? Atoms have protons, neutrons, and electrons, right? Atoms, though, so bear with me, guys, okay? So we're looking at an apple. We're looking at, thank you, the perception of, just remember, folks, the government wants to keep you sick and stupid. Yes, yes, yes. They don't want you to heal. Only beings in this realm can't touch that box. That's right. And also beings crossing temporarily from other realms can touch it. Yes. The subject object dichotomy also comes into play as it relates to our understanding of reality. That's true. Okay. So in an atom is made up of, so the smallest, we have this big, huge microscope, and we're looking at an atom. An atom is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. 99.999999999% of an atom is empty space. It's nothingness. It's empty space. So if you think about that, if that proton, okay, if that proton in this atom was the size of an apple, if we blew up that proton and it was the size of an apple, the closest electron to this proton would be the size of a grain of salt, and it would be 2 kilometers or 1.24 miles away from this apple. That's how much empty space there is. So are you telling me that you don't think that when we use our brain power and the energy that we know we create with friction, with our, with our meridians, which meridian is an actual thing. It's an energy field around your body. You don't think we can change anything in that empty space to move things around in our body's energetic field to help fix that? It's 99.99999 times % empty space. It's just vibrating teeny tiny little electrons and protons. So of course we can change that. Of course, there shouldn't be any question that we can change that. We definitely have the ability to change that. There shouldn't be any question of that. None. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Sarana. Right? So every particle, everything, just how you can feel someone behind you. Yes, when they haven't touched you, there's an energy. Yes. We are spiritual beings having a material experience. This hard box, all it is waves of energy, waves of vibrating energy. So you think we can't change disease, which when you look at disease, what's disease? It's dis-ease. It is something askew with our body. So we need to take the dis part out. We need to ease whatever that is. We need to take away whatever feeds that dis part of the disease. Total nerd moment, talking about solid objects and phasing through them. Yay, I'll have to look at it later. Hold on, let me click it so I can look at it later. Oh shoot, it changed it. Damn it. Hold on. Hold on, now I gotta get it back. Damn it. All right. Spiritual beings, material experience, absolutely. My favorite book series has characters called medicine cats. They use herbs, plants to heal the other cats along with prayers to their ancestors. If cats can't do it, why can't we? Yes, absolutely. Alchemy. You look pretty with your beads. Are those the ones somebody made you? Yes, these are the ones that Wendy made me that I brought with me to my Reiki mastery. And so they are helping me with my healing now. Yep, that is why there are channels on YouTube for frequency music for healing. Yes, absolutely. Frequency music. Love it. I love that you're so into this, Jen. I swear people think I'm nuts when I say the same thing. I know it. I hear ya. I know. Because science is awesome and teaches you. Exactly. They have cures, but 99% of the world's population are not privy to them. No money in curing. That's true. A lot of the cures, though, come from natural things that they just have buried because they don't want us to heal, right? They want to keep us sick as they can anyways. Okay, so the dis-ease, we need to do that. All right, couple more things and then I'll be done. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is a long topic, but it's so, to me, it's so exciting. And it's like really, we need to really, really believe that we can do this because we can. We can. Okay, so they talk about one of the greatest stories. I love this story in the middle of the documentary. This woman went into a coma. She had lymphoma. She had lemon-sized tumors all over her body from lymphoma. Love using binaural beats for healing. Yes, absolutely. Yes. and her organs were shutting down. She went into a coma. They called her family, said, this is it. She should be gone within hours. Her organs are shutting down because of these tumors. That it's just too much to feed these tumors. Her organs are shutting down. That's it. She went into a coma. In the coma, she went into a realm that she saw her deceased father. Her deceased father, she never got along with at all. He like hated everything she ever did. He never said a good thing to her. He always downed her at every moment. She did not get along with her father. Her father never showed her love, affection, anything, all this stuff. She says she saw her father and she couldn't believe it, but there was no judgment in his tone, in the way he looked at her. He looked at her with unconditional love. He talked to her with unconditional love. He talked about how much he accepts her, how much she's perfect in every way, how wonderful she is, all this stuff. And she said, so she knew this was like a magical realm. She was like, I don't understand. This is magic. This is an incredible realm. She realized in this realm, she looked at her cancer and she realized that she had a clarity of why she had this cancer. She said she knew that she had this cancer because of every decision she had ever made was based on fear. Every decision, and that stress and the way that she looked at things and the way she felt about things, that it caused her body to start pulling this stuff together that culminated in lymphoma with all of these huge tumors all over her body. I gotta catch up. They cannot monetize plants and roots, so they'll never use them for cures. Exactly. Just like they hook people on for life on some drug that never cures them. Absolutely. For sure. Yes, because they're not the same over there. Yeah, exactly. So she realized she could heal herself. She's like, I knew that if I wanted to go back to my body, that I could just heal myself. So I did. She went back to her body. She woke up. And she said, I don't want any of your crappy treatment things. I'm going to just heal myself. And they said, yeah, that's not possible, honey. We need to monitor you. Blah, blah, blah. She said, after the first week, the doctors saw the tumors were shrinking more than they had ever thought possible for a tumor to shrink. They had never seen tumors shrinking that quickly. At the end of 5 weeks, she had no cancer left in her body anywhere. 5 weeks. Come on. That is the belief of, nope, I'm going to tell my body to cure this. This is what needs to happen. Think about religion and how the Bible says wages of sin is death. Yes, because you're always so big on beating yourself up and focusing on the bad stuff, right? So 5 weeks and it had completely healed itself. They could not find cancer anywhere in her body anymore. And only because, though, she went to this realm that was a different realm that made her see things and gave her clarity of consciousness, a clarity that she had never been able to see through all the shit that the world piles on us. And suddenly she realized, I can do this. This is nothing. I can totally heal this. And had complete and total confidence that all she had to do was wake up and heal herself. And she did. And that was it. It was possible. She got enlightened. Hell yeah, she got enlightened. Completely enlightened. So I'm going to leave you with one more thing because I think that the other part of this that even they did not really talk about this in that documentary, but that I attribute a lot of healing to my and your, if I'm healing someone else, my spirit guides, my spirit guardians. If you want to call them angels, call them angels. The spiritual beings that I feel are around me to protect me and around you to protect you. I feel like they have a huge role in this too. And that they can absolutely help to heal. And we just need to ask them to intercede, to come in and figure out exactly what's wrong and switch things around so that the healing center of our body is lined up correctly to heal this. And I'll tell you that because this past week was, yay, drumming session. Perfect. This past week was the 17th anniversary of Sam Kinison's death. If you know anything about Sam Kinison, he was a comedian. He was a great comedian as far as I'm concerned, but he was the one that screamed at people. He screamed at people about like moving out of the desert. Why don't you move? You know what I mean? So our local radio host, Brother Weeze, he was very good friends with Sam Kinison. And he had on the other comedian who was with Sam when he died. Sam got into a car accident. And he was in Grand Am, I believe. And some teenagers, basically like a 19-year-old, went into his lane and hit him head on. And the other comedian was behind him, in the car behind him. So he, of course, slammed on his brakes, got out of the car. He said Sam was on the pavement dying. He said he held Sam in his hands as he was dying. And he said, now Sam was, if you know Sam Kinison at all, he was not a religious person. In fact, he used to be a pastor and had walked away from that whole life because he thought that they were hypocrites and he didn't like that. And he railed against the hypocritic system of religion. So he was laying there dying, and this comedian said he was looking to his right and he was having like almost an argument with someone, some spirit to his right. And he said, but I don't want to die. I'm not ready to die. I still feel like I have so much to do here. I don't understand what the point was. And this comedian says Sam suddenly got this look on his face of complete and total peace. And he went, oh, okay, I get that now. And died. So Spirit had given him the gift of clarity. Again, that clarity comes in where suddenly things that we don't understand on this realm, you get a glimpse of, oh, of course, that's the way it is. Of course. And he let himself go. So belief is everything, because we certainly do not know everything on this realm. We can believe that we have the ability to change things in our bodies, that we have the ability to allow energetic healers to shift things around so that they are in a more healing zone. We have that ability, and we need to believe that, because that will help our healing work more than anything else we can do. Belief. Belief, belief, belief. What was the term that we said? I wrote down and starred. Belief. Belief shifts biology. Belief shifts biology. Believe in the diagnosis, not the prognosis. So I hope that helps. Profound. I truly believe that I have seen family members soon before their death. I have had the honor of being with so many people at their transitions, and it truly is an honor. My mom asked her brother on his deathbed what he was looking at, and he just smiled with peace. Yep, absolutely. Like a 2-minute pity parties, then back to the ground, right? Mic dropped. That's right. When I was born, I was very sick. My mom's first husband died of cancer. She was in the bathroom yelling at God, saying, why do I bother praying? Nick died, and now you're taking my baby. Oh, honey, we are so freaking attached to our physical bodies. We are not free until we shed out this meat vehicle. That's right. She said she heard a voice say, that's why Nick had to die. Aww. Right? Talk about mic drops. Okay, I hope this helps, guys. This is just the beginning of our healing. I mean, should be a huge series because there's so much work that can be done on how to heal, on what to do. Then the hospital called and told me that they could come get me. Yay! Hi, Maddie. Coming in at the end. I'm almost done. Healing is an amazing work. I encourage you all to watch Heal. It's an amazing documentary. I am going to rewatch it and write more notes because I'm in love with this documentary. I encourage you to read up on healing. I encourage you to believe. To believe. Love this channel. You are such a beautiful soul. I love you too. Right? Thank you so much. You are welcome. You are so welcome. And I encourage you to watch that documentary. I can't tell you enough how much I am in love with that documentary. I'm going to recommend it to every single person I know. Because it's so important. So yay, I love you guys to death. I'm going to post, tomorrow is Tarot Talk. I'm going to post a poll of which cards we can pick from. You are welcome, Laughing Galaxy. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And can I link it down below? I can't because Netflix is, a subscriber thing. So you have to go on. Just if you're on Netflix, you can just search Heal and it literally comes right up. It's like the first thing that comes right up. So yay. Yay, yay. Oh, and also, yes, Game of Thrones. Woo. Yes, right. All right. So, yay. This series will definitely continue because it's a huge thing. And I want everyone to know that they have the ability to heal, whether it's Reiki or something else. You don't need Reiki to heal. Anything that you do that you're pulling, that intention is everything. The intention is everything. Okay. So we will continue this discussion again. Love you guys. Good night. Blessings.